Miss me with that filthiness you bringing. I done had enough of trapped inside of sin. Had me bearing back from some stuff. I was so stoned, I ain't talking about Medusa. I vaccinate us, shooting us, that's all they wanna do for us. Paralyze my mind to this world that we living in. I've been quiet for a moment, now it's time for me to shut it down. Found out we the Jews, but it really doesn't matter now. Cause if they won't repent for they sins, then we through, bro.
Alright, blow the trumpet.
We like to say, welcome to all the Israelites.
That's right.
On God's Sabbath day. Coming together on another Sabbath day here to edify our people. A lot of our people don't know that we are the chosen people of the Bible. We are the Israelites that the Most High speaks of in the Bible, his chosen people, above all other people on the face of the planet.
That's right.
A chosen people to be a light to all other people on the planet. A lot of us also don't know that the seventh day of the week is the Sabbath day. The Sabbath day is a holy day. A holy day that is to be consecrated, that is to be set apart. Not the first day of the week. On the Sabbath day, you are supposed to be giving thanks and glory and honor and praise to the Father. Yes, every day you're supposed to be doing it, but this day is supposed to be consecrated and set apart. You aren't supposed to be buying, selling, dwelling in businesses. You're supposed to be dedicating your time, your life, everything to the Most High on this day, on the Sabbath day, because this is when the Most High rested.
That's right.
And this is also the day that the Most High chose to use as a covenant between him and his people, the seventh day. Any other day that you're consecrating, setting apart, you're not in the covenant with the Most High. You're in the covenant with another power that isn't the creator of all being.
That's right.
So we're going to get this thing started, open up today. We want to talk about righteousness. A lot of times our people, they know that we're spiritual people. They know that, hey, I got to be right with God. But what they fail to realize is you can't be right with God on your own terms, on your own merit. We all have good intentions, but sometimes good intentions path the way to hell. A lot of times we think, oh, maybe if I just stop smoking, or if I just speak to people as they walking by, that's good enough. That's not good enough according to the Creator. There are a lot of things that you got to do when it comes to righteousness. One of the main principles that we have to focus on when dealing with righteousness is to make sure that we're following the laws of the Creator. Now, when it comes to being righteous, righteousness doesn't mean being perfect. Never once in the Bible did the Most High say be perfect. Righteousness basically is you aiming at the Creator. You're aiming to strive to be like the Creator every day. Righteousness is aiming for the Creator, to be in constant pursuit of the Creator. Let's go Leviticus 20 and 26. When you're being righteous, you're always following what it is that the Creator wanted you to do. He left instructions for us to do to be a righteous people. Leviticus chapter 22, verse 26. Leviticus chapter 20 and verse 26. And ye shall be holy unto me, for I, the Lord, am holy. I have severed you from other people, that ye should be mine. Now the Most High here tells us to be holy, for he is holy. He said he severed us and separated us from every other people. Now in order for us to be holy and separated, we have to not be doing things that other people are doing. Right. Now mind you, the Most High never said to be perfect. He said to separate and to be holy, for he is holy. Now, when we're aiming for the Creator and aiming for holiness, then that puts us in the stage of righteousness.
Right.
Now, a lot of times people think, especially those that say, oh, you act all holier than thou. We have to realize righteousness is not a destination. Righteousness is a journey. And when you're consistently aiming at the Most High, that is you being righteous. Let me get Proverbs 24 and 16.
Proverbs 24 and 16.
For a just man falleth 7 times.
All right, here you go.
For a just man falleth 7 times and riseth up again, but the wicked shall fall into mischief.
That's right.
Notice how the scripture tells us right here that a just man, and just is another synonym for righteousness. A righteous man falleth 7 times, but he gets back up. That just goes to show you that you don't have to be perfect to be righteous. You just have to always be in consistent pursuit of the Most High to fulfill what it is that the Most High wants you to do. He doesn't call you to be perfect. He knows that you're going to mess up. He knows that you're going to fall and you're going to stumble. But if you continue to aim at the goal that he set for you, then you will be called righteous to him.
No, sister, you good.
Yeah, you can walk.
Don't take that baby in that road.
You good? Now, let me get 2 Chronicles 6, starting at 36 to 39. And let me get 2 Chronicles 7, 14. Now, King Solomon prayed to the Most High in the book of Chronicles and asked the Most High for a way to resemble righteousness for our people. A way that we can see, hey, if we fall off, what can we do to become back righteous to the Father? And this is what King Solomon asked. 2 Chronicles 6, 36.
The book of 2 Chronicles, chapter 6, verse 36. If they sin against thee, for there is no man which sinneth not, and thou be angry with them, and deliver them over before their enemies, and they carry them away captives unto a land far or near.
See right here, Solomon saying, hey, we know we're going to sin because there is not one man who has not sinned. So if we sin and we're getting carried away to our captives, he's going to continue on.
If they return, yet if they bethink themselves in the land whether they are carried captive, and turn and pray unto thee in the land of their captivity, say, we have sinned, we have done amiss, and have dealt wickedly.
So right here, King Solomon is saying, if our people who understand that being righteous people, they've fallen, and they realize that, and they get back up, and they say, hey, Father, I've fallen, but I want to get back on this path of righteousness. Father, please hear me. Continue.
38, if they return to thee with all their heart, and with all their soul, in the land of their captivity, where they have carried them away captive, and pray toward their land, which thou gavest unto their fathers, and toward the city which thou hast chosen, and toward the house which I have built for thy name.
So now King Solomon is giving us a line or a way how to get back to the Father, how to get back on that righteous path. He said, first off, bethink that you've done evil. So that means know that you trespass against the Most High. Then turn away from your wicked ways. Pray to the Father that the Father forgives you. Pray toward the land. And how does he finish off, my brother?
Then hear thou from the heavens, even from the dwelling place, their prayer and their supplication, and maintain their cause, and forgive thy people which have sinned against thee. Now, my God.
So King Solomon is saying, Father, if we do these things that is turning away from our sin, praying, asking for forgiveness. Can you please forgive my people? Can this please be a way that we get back on the path of righteousness? This is what Solomon prayed. The Most High came back to Solomon, and this is what he responded with. 2 Chronicles 7:14.
2 Chronicles 7:14. If my people, which are called by my name, shall humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven and will forgive their sin and will heal their land.
So the Father said, okay, this is the prayer that you prayed to me for. So King Solomon came to the Father with the request. If our people trespass against you, so if they fall out of their righteous walk, and they did. Maybe got to speak a little bit closer. Put the antenna on. That should go. All right, so King Solomon asked the Father, hey, if we fall out of our righteous walk and we go against you, Father, and we trespass against you, and we go through our punishment and we accept our punishment and turn from our wicked ways, can you please hear our cries when we pray to you? The Father responded and said, yes, if you turn back from your wicked ways and you walk back on the path of righteousness, which is you get back on the path of aiming for me and aiming for what I've done, then I will forgive you and I will heal your land. Let me get, you got it? Hosea 14, right, 2.
Hosea chapter 14, verse 1. O Israel, return unto the Lord thy God, for thou hast fallen by thine iniquity. Take with you words and turn to the Lord. Say unto him, take away all iniquity and receive us graciously. So will we render the calves of our lips.
So right here it's telling you, yes, you're going to fall. And yes, you have failed, Israel. But return back to the Father with your prayers. Turn away from your evil ways and then get back on your path of righteousness, or get back on your path of aiming at the Creator, which is being righteous. It never said be perfect. It said go back, because you've already exited out of your perfection when you trespassed against the Most High. But when you turn back and you continue to aim at the Most High, then you got back on that righteous path and you continue to walk on that righteous path.
This is Hosea chapter 11 and 1. When Israel was a child, then I loved him and called my son out of Egypt. As they called them, so they went from them. They sacrificed unto Baal.
So don't read Hosea 11 and 1 again, just 11 and 1.
Oh, okay. Chapter, verse 1. When Israel was a child, then I loved him and called my son out of Egypt.
Now, the Most High said that he loved us, Israel, and he called us out of Egypt. Now we have to understand, why did the Most High call us out of Egypt when we were in bondage in Egypt? The first reason that he called us out of Egypt is because he had a covenant with Abraham. And the Most High always fulfills his promises and his covenants that he has. But the second reason, and maybe more important reason, is we were supposed to be a light unto the rest of the world. We are supposed to be the individuals that the rest of the world follows in order to be righteous. We are the righteous. We're supposed to be the righteous leaderships of the world. And we know the definition of righteous is aiming at the Creator. So we're always supposed to be aiming at the Creator, and all of the other nations were supposed to be following us and aiming at the Creator. Let's get that Isaiah 49:6.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 49, verse 6. And he said, it is a light thing that thou shouldest be my servant to raise up the tribes of Jacob, and to restore the preserve of Israel. I I will also give thee for a light to the Gentiles, that thou mayest be my salvation unto the end of the earth.
So we see right here that we are supposed to be the light to the rest of the world on how to live. We are the foundation for the instructions of the Father. Now, the Father, when Christ came on the scene, Christ told us, hey, that you got two ways, two main laws that exemplifies every other law. And we're going to get those right here. Let me get that mark.
This is Mark chapter 12 and 29. Yeah. And Jesus answered him, the first of all the commandments is, hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord, and thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind, and with all thy strength. This is the first commandment. And the second is like, namely this, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. There is none other commandment greater than these. And the scribe said unto him, well, master, thou hast said the truth, for there is one God, and there is none other but he.
So right here, Christ is telling you, hey, the Most High, loving the Most High, aiming for the Most High, following the commandments that the Most High gave you and the instructions that he gave you is the greatest commandment above all. And then the one after that is loving thy neighbor. Now we have a lot of people who feel like, oh, Christ came and taught his own doctrine. To prove that Christ didn't speak anything else other than what was already written, we're going to go to Deuteronomy. Let me get Deuteronomy 6, 4, and 5. And let me get Leviticus 19 and 18. Christ came and spoke the words of the Father. He came out and put out what the Father had already spoke. He didn't come and create his own doctrine. He didn't come and create something new. He didn't come to destroy anything old. All he did was solidify and re-emphasize what was already there.
That's right.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 6, verse 4. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord. And thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy might. And these words which I command thee this day shall be in thine heart.
So, as we can see right there, when Christ said the first greatest commandment is to know that the Most High is one, and that you are to love him with all your soul, might, heart, and everything. That's not something he added. That was something that was already there. Now let's get the next thing he said. Leviticus 19 and 18.
Okay. Leviticus 19 and 18. Thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people, but thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I am the Lord.
So right here, as you can see, Christ literally did not speak his own words. Christ spoke the words of the Father. So he's going to tell you right there. He told you, he came and said, follow me. Do as I say to do. Well, if he's saying to do what the Father told you to do, that means that he has you aiming at the Father, which means Christ has you being righteous. He has you getting back up after you've fallen. Like Proverbs 24 and 16 said. Proverbs 24 and 16 said, a righteous man falls, but he gets back up. A wicked man stays down. Christ came to bring you back to your righteousness.
Isaiah 64 and 6.
But we all are as unclean things, and all our righteousness are as filthy rags. I can't go back into my ways. Some demons, they be lurking, trying to get me like, okay. I can't go back into my ways. Some demons, they be lurking, trying to get me like, okay.
We gon' catch you slipping in this day. This righteousness is number 50 rest of me, okay.
I can't go back into my ways. Some demons, they be lurking, trying to get me like, okay. Righteousness, that's all I want is righteousness. Miss me with that filthiness you bringing. I done had enough, trapped inside of sin. Had me bearing bad fruits and stuff. I was so stoned, I ain't talking about Medusa. Medusa. Vaccinating us, shooting us, that's all they wanna do for us. Paralyze my mind to this world that we living in. I've been quiet for a moment, now it's time for me to shut it down. Found out we the Jews, but it really doesn't matter now. Cause if they won't repent for they sins, then we through, bro. Even if you so-called a good person, it don't matter. A higher has an order, 1 Corinthians 11. If you ain't been baptized, then you won't make it to heaven. I'm just saying, a charity is a problem for you, man. You don't have no humility, you won't be entering in. Clash of the Hebrew Israelites is not the plan. The Most High destroy Quran for being arrogant, dig what I'm saying.